All right. Hello, hello. Testing 1 2. So I've been very fascinated lately by I've always been fascinated by just different people. Unfortunately, serial killers are in that list. And I thought I knew most of them, or all of the main serial killers that have been caught and, that we know of, right? Well, have you guys ever heard of a guy named Israel Keys? Israel Keys. Okay, so this dude, this dude's from Anchorage, Alaska. Okay, and he's one of the most sort of bizarre, not bizarre, but different. And he works. He certainly works on a different thought process than most serial killers. Like I don't really think that this guy wanted to be a serial. I really don't know because he doesn't remind me of Dahmer. He doesn't remind me of Gacy. This was the kind of guy. I mean, he was in the army. He was a ranger. He was an army ranger. Okay. But this was the kind of guy. He was from Anchorage, Alaska. He would jump on an airplane. He would fly to Chicago, which is in my neck of the woods, by the way. He would rent a car and he would drive up to different states all over. So when he flew into Chicago, he drove to Vermont. And but I don't want to get into that story right away. I figured we would start at the end and move backwards. Those are his words, okay? So I wanted to go ahead and try to. I want to listen to some of his confession video that he had with I think it was the Texas Rangers, because that's where he ended up getting ultimately arrested. It's pretty amazing that they actually caught him, and it's great that they caught him. So he started getting really sloppy. And so what happened was he ended up abducting an 18-year-old girl from a little tiny coffee shop called Common Grounds. And this is in Anchorage, okay, Anchorage, Alaska. And mind you, it's probably 11 p.m. where he's at. He's got to get up at 4:30 in the morning to go on a cruise. He's leaving to go on a cruise, but he figures that, well, before I go, why don't I just go rob the Common Grounds coffee shop? And depending on who's working there, we might do some more. Maybe abduct the person and murder them or hold them for ransom. Who knows, right? Excuse me. So what he ends up doing is he goes to Common Grounds, orders a cup of coffee, pulls his 22 caliber revolver out, tells the young lady that he's robbing her, and then proceeds to tie her up with zip ties and tell her that I'm going to hold you for ransom. Everything's going to be okay. Nothing's going to happen. But we'll get into more of the details of what actually went down here in a bit. But let's just kind of I don't know if this is even the right video, but we're going to go ahead and give it a
That's your call, buddy.
play here. And hold on a second here. Main
Vermont
scene.
U.S.
There we
Attorney's
go.
Office, Vermont State isn't going to rush forward and give you what you want, knowing that there's more information.
Yeah, right.
And just to let you guys know, the way he got busted was after he committed the crime of unaliving this young lady. He left that morning. He went on the cruise, and I think it was when they got back from the cruise, which was like a week later, they got back on land down in New Orleans or something like that. But anyway, he ends up going to an ATM, I believe, in Arizona somewhere, and uses her debit card. And he's driving a rental car. They didn't get the plate All they got was the exact make and model of the rent-a-car. So right after he, attempts to use the ATM card, something went wrong with his rental car. So he goes and gets a new rental car, and just by the grace of whatever, God, whatever you want to say, they gave him the exact same rental car, same color and everything. And that's how they caught him. That's how they ended up getting him. They pulled him over in Texas. They conducted an investigation, and yeah, they caught him. They found everything. So, and he was actually pretty stunned. He was like, "Man, how did I get caught?" His wife had no idea. He had a 10-year-old daughter.
This is 34-year-old Israel Keys. On February 1st, 2012, Israel Keys began to execute the final steps of a plan that he already had in motion. He ran 2 heaters inside a shed to keep it comfortable, and then placed a tarp along the floor to help control any mess. And after canvassing several locations, Israel Keys decided that the Common Grounds Espresso coffee stand in Anchorage, Alaska would be his target.
Yeah, so this is the little coffee shack that he decided to rob and abduct this young lady from. It's so sad, but I gotta admit, if I was working there and somebody pointed a gun at me, it's like, dude, take what you want. And then he says to me, well, here, I'm gonna put zip ties and cuff you behind your back, and I'm gonna take you out of here and hold you for ransom. Well, I'd say, well, I guess you're gonna have to kill me right here, because I ain't going nowhere with you. So I guess I'm gonna die right here, but I ain't going with you. Nope, sorry. Gonna have to pull that trigger, buddy.
He decided to execute this plan on February 1st because he had already purchased tickets to board a cruise ship from New Orleans to Mexico the very next morning.
Right.
Israel waited in his car fairly close to the coffee stand, listening to a police scanner for any potential distractions.
Oh, yeah. That's another thing. Yeah, he had a police scanner, so he's monitoring all that. And I discovered this man by accident. I fell asleep watching YouTube, some sort of crime stuff. You know how you do that? You fall asleep and you wake up like an hour later, 2 later, and something else is on. Well, there was a documentary on about Israel Keys, and I was blown away. There's a really good one, a really good documentary about him. You guys got to see it. It's. I couldn't stop watching it. It's like I wanted to know everything about this guy. You know, the guy would go around all of the United States and he would bury 5-gallon sealed buckets in the ground in random places all around the United States. So he had weapons caches all over the place. So it's just so bizarre. Mainly serial killers, they like to conduct their crimes where they're comfortable, which is usually close to home, somewhat close to where they live. This guy, whole different breed, man. He would travel to the other ends of the entire United States to randomly commit crime. It's so weird.
Around 8 p.m., a major incident was broadcast over the scanner, quite far across town. This was the moment Israel Keys decided to strike. Israel covered his face with a ski mask and walked up towards the coffee stand. He then noticed it was just one young lady working,
Right.
18-year-old Samantha Koenig.
There
Samantha
she
then
is.
asked if she could help Israel, and he ordered an Americana coffee. As Samantha turned around to prepare the coffee, Israel lifted a handgun out of his pocket and pointed it directly at her. She turned back around, only to see the barrel of a gun pointing directly at her face. Israel then ordered the young lady to turn off all of the lights and back away from the window.
Which she did.
He then climbed through the window and ordered her to get down.
You know, I got to admit, I'm sorry to keep interrupting, but I have to, because this is a copyrighted material content. I'm going to make some better videos on my own coming up. I just didn't have the time, and I wanted to break the ice here and get a video out for you guys. And first of all, I just want to say hello to all of you. And I really hope everybody's doing well. I really do. I've lost a lot of friends this year, all within a 2-week period, to alcohol and drugs. I think it was alcohol, though, not drugs. But it's just weird, People you grow up with, you knew your whole life, and all of a sudden they're gone. It's like the older I get, it's like the more I'm just like, where am I? Where am I? What is happening? Where did everybody go? All my friends are dead. You know what I mean? But no, I really hope everybody's doing well. I really miss you guys. I really do. And that's why I have to get back into doing this. I want to make some quality content for YouTube. And so I'm going to do it. This is the start. Here we are.
On her knees. Israel then tied Samantha up, took any money he could find from the coffee stand, and made it clear that he was going to be taking her with him. Samantha then pleaded with Israel, stating that her father would be by to pick her up at any minute.
And the thing that really irks me about this guy is he robs them too. It's like he takes their money, their belongings, everything, even gets their debit card to go steal the money out of their bank. It's like, ooh, I just can't stand this guy. Man. Well, at least he's dead now. He didn't get the death penalty or anything like that, but he ended up killing himself in his jail cell. So good riddance. Good riddance.
After very little hesitation, Israel gagged Samantha and began pushing her and dragging her towards his vehicle. He forced her into the passenger seat of his vehicle and drove them both back to his house that he shared with his girlfriend and his young daughter. Israel threatened Samantha repeatedly, telling her that if she were to make any noise, he would kill her. Israel was then able to move Samantha from his vehicle to the...
I hate to break it to you, Israel. You wouldn't have got me out of that building. Nope. I've had a gun pointed at me before. I know what it feels like when you're thinking, like your mind is racing and you're just thinking, how am I going to get out of this situation? What can I do? But I don't know. I'm 40. I've lived a decent life, so I would have just said, dude, you're going to kill me right here or you're going to walk away. Those are your options. So good luck, because I'm not going nowhere with you, buddy.
The shed next to his house, which he had already prepared for the attack without anybody noticing.
That's his house.
He cranked up the volume on a radio that he had in the shed
house.
As he tied up Samantha some more. He then forced Samantha to tell him where her debit card was. She told him it was currently in her boyfriend's truck. At this point, Israel was planning to hold on to Samantha for ransom.
And wouldn't you know, guys, guess what? He had a white truck. So, however, this guy is definitely a lot more intelligent than Lorne. Very strange, very strange. However, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to keep it at this for now. This is going to be my new study here, Israel Keys. I advise you guys to go on YouTube and look up a good documentary about what this guy did. Learn about his crimes, and I'm probably going to be doing another video within the week. Hopefully on Wednesday or Thursday, I'll definitely do another video. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep this under 15 minutes because I don't know if I'm allowed to upload a video longer than 15. I don't know. I got to find out. But anyways, there's going to be a lot more to come. I hope you all are doing well. And yeah, I'll see you in a couple of days. All right. Remember this psychopath. There's so many psychos, weirdos out there. One of those weirdos. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and say over and out, and we will have a lot more videos to come in the future. Alrighty, everybody. Over and out. Bye.